All the information shared in this video is available on the public platform. Nothing is discussed here which may breach the confidentiality of our armed forces. Defense Detective respects our defense forces and works only on the information that is available for public use.
Ultimately, Maldives has had to bow down before India. This time neither China nor its President Moizzu has come to work for it. When Maldives was about to die of hunger, it had to bow down to India. Within 2 months, all the arrogance of Maldives has gone out. Relations between India and the Maldives have been quite tense in recent times. However, despite this, India has granted approval for the export of essential commodities to the Maldives. The Indian government has approved the supply of several necessary items to the Maldives, including rice, wheat, and onions. Currently, there are restrictions on the export of these items. In fact, India is a major exporter of rice, sugar, and onions. But to control local prices ahead of general elections, several restrictions have been imposed on the export of these food items. In an official statement, the High Commission of India said on 5th April, upon the request of the Government of Maldives, the Government of India has allowed for export of certain quantities of essential commodities for the year 2024-25 under a unique bilateral mechanism, wherein the quotas for each of these items have been revised upwards. The approved quantities are the highest since this arrangement came into effect in 1981. The quota for river sand and stone aggregates, crucial items for the booming construction industry in the Maldives, have been increased by 25% to 1 million metric tons. There has also been an increase of 5% in the quotas for eggs, potatoes, onions, sugar, rice, wheat flour and dal. Last year as well, India continued export of rice, sugar and onions to the Maldives in spite of a worldwide ban on export of these items from India. India remains strongly committed to supporting human-centric development in the Maldives as part of its Neighborhood First policy. Maldives has expressed gratitude to India for lifting export curbs on essential commodities in the current financial year to help the island nation elevate from some of its economic troubles. After months of diplomatic tension, the Maldives has thanked India for renewing the quota to import essential commodities during 2024 and 2025. In a statement on X, Maldives Foreign Minister Musa Zamir said, "I sincerely thank EAM Jaishankar and the Government of India for the renewal of the quota to enable Maldives to import essential commodities from India during the years 2024 and 2025. This is truly a gesture which signifies the long-standing friendship and the strong commitment to further expand bilateral trade and commerce between our two countries." Responding to the statement, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar also took to X to respond, stating that India is committed to its Neighborhood First and Sagar policies. The Directorate General of Foreign Trade, DGFT, in a notification said these exports have been permitted to Maldives under the bilateral trade agreement between countries during 2024-25. The development is significant as the export will occur amid a diplomatic standoff between the two countries, triggered by the Maldives after President Moizzu leaned towards China after coming to power last November. Under the deal, India will export essential goods like eggs, potatoes, onions, rice, wheat flour, sugar, and lentils. Apart from these items, India will also provide Maldives with stone aggregate and river sand. Until now, the export of the mentioned commodities was either restricted or prohibited. The specified quantity allowed includes potatoes, 21,513 tons, onions, 35,749 tons, rice, 1,24,218 tons, wheat flour, 1,09,163 tons, sugar, 64,494 tons, dal, 225 tons, stone aggregate, 1 million tons, and river sand, 1 million tons. The exports of river sand and stone aggregate will ensure that the suppliers' extractors have obtained appropriate clearances and mining of the sand is not undertaken in the coastal regulation zone area, which is prohibited under the Coastal Regulation Zone notification. After having a fallout with India, Maldives President Moizzu took steps that were increasingly burdensome for his country's people day by day. Since 2014, Maldives has been plunged into a severe water crisis once again. The people of Maldives are yearning for every drop of water. However, back in 2014, India had come to the rescue by conducting Operation Neer, providing water to Maldives. This time, to save itself from the water crisis, Maldives sought help not from India but from China. It pleaded with China 3 times to provide drinking water, and China sent 1,500 tons of drinking water from Tibet. Meanwhile, there were reports that Maldives, particularly for spying on India, was purchasing military drones. Media reports suggested that the Islamic country had bought military drones from Turkey to execute regional intelligence plans.